You are about to hear one of the possible alternative versions of Elon Musk's biography. In 2008, Elon Musk was at his breaking point. Tesla was on the verge of bankruptcy. SpaceX had failed 3 launches in a row. PayPal had long been sold. His wife had left him. The money was running out. He slept in the office, ate protein bars, and said he believed, but deep down, he no longer believed in himself. And then he made a decision, not a heroic one, not a brilliant one, but a human one. He found a person, not a double, not an actor, but someone who could have been him. His name was David Keller, 32 years old, a former physics professor from Stanford, a genius, charismatic, with ideas similar to Musk's, but without money, connections, or fame. He wrote articles about colonizing Mars. No one read them. Musk found him online, invited him to a meeting, proposed a deal. "I'll pay you $20 million. You will become me, in public, at interviews, at conferences. I will stay behind the scenes. I will handle strategy, and you will be my face, my voice, my legend." "Why?" David asked. "You could just keep going." "Because I'm burned out," Musk said. "I can't smile anymore when I talk about the future. I no longer believe what I say, but the ideas they must live, even if the person is tired." David agreed, not for the money, but for the chance to change the world, even if no one would ever know his name. The deal was simple. David undergoes minor plastic surgery, not a full transformation, just smoothing out differences, learns to speak like Musk, studies his mannerisms, gestures, and speech patterns, signs a non-disclosure agreement, gets a new identity, and the real Elon disappears. In 2009, Elon Musk returns, with new energy, with confidence, speaks about Falcon 1 as the greatest breakthrough, smiles wider, uses metaphors that weren't there before. People notice. He became different somehow. But better, like he freed himself. The real Elon lives in a small house in New Mexico. Under the name Robert Finch, teaches physics to children from poor families. No one recognizes him. He doesn't watch his interviews. But sometimes, in silence, he reads articles about himself, about that version of himself that he created. He feels proud, but not of himself, of David. He watches how he talks about Mars, how he inspires millions and thinks, he became what I never was, the real one. Years go by. Tesla grows. SpaceX launches rockets. Musk becomes a cult figure. People wear t-shirts with his face. His quotes are taught in schools. His biography is written. But in 2020, David starts to crack, not physically, but psychologically. He writes in his diary, "I don't know where I end, and he begins anymore. When I say I, who am I talking about? The person I'm pretending to be, or who I was before?" He tries to leave the game, writes Musk. "I want to stop everything. I'm tired of being a shadow." Musk arrives. They meet in a dark hotel room. No one knows. "You can't leave," Musk says. "Not because of the contract, but because you're no longer David. You are Elon Musk now, in the eyes of the world, in history. If you disappear, everything will collapse. The ideas, the companies, people's faith." "What if I tell the truth?" David asks. "Tell it," Musk replies, "and they'll call you crazy. Or they'll say, I'm the fake, and you're a lunatic seeking fame. The truth won't save the legend. It will kill it." David falls silent. He understands. He can no longer be himself, because himself no longer exists. In 2022, David dies. Officially heart attack. In a house in Beverly Hills. He's 45. The world mourns. The U.S. president gives a speech. Memorials. Tears. A genius gone too soon. The real Elon attends the funeral. In the crowd, hood up, he looks at the coffin, at the photo, at the name, Elon Musk, and thinks, he lived my life better than I did, and died for me. A month later, he publishes a memoir. Under the name Robert Finch, the book is titled, I Was a Shadow. In it, the whole truth. About the deal, about David, about disappearing. About how one man became a legend while another stayed in silence. The book doesn't take off. Critics write, a good novel. Too bad it pretends to be true. People laugh. Yeah, right. Musk died and the shadow wrote a book? A year later, the book is pulled from shelves. The author vanishes. But in 2025, a journalist investigating old cases finds a strange detail. In 2008, David Keller officially died from an overdose in a hospital in Washington state. Photo in the archives, death certificate, funeral. The journalist looks at video interviews of Musk from 2009, compares the voice, gestures, speech patterns, and realizes the person who returned in 2009 wasn't David. Then who? He goes to New Mexico, finds a school. A former teacher named Finch, old, gray-haired, speaks softly. Were you Robert Finch? The journalist asks. Yes, he replies. Did you read the book I Was a Shadow? Yes, I wrote it. But you said it was true? The old man smiles, looks out the window at the children playing in the yard. The truth? Number. It's fiction. I made it up. Because once, many years ago, a man came to me and said, if anyone asks, say you were him. I didn't know who he was. I just agreed. Then he disappeared. And no one else came. But then who was at David's funeral? Who lived as Musk after 2009? The old man falls silent, then speaks. Does it matter who he was? What matters is what he did. That rockets fly, that cars drive, that someone believed in the future. Even if it was a lie. The journalist leaves. He doesn't publish the article. He burns his notes, because he understands the truth isn't needed anymore. The legend lives, and maybe this is the real breakthrough. Somewhere in a small school in the desert, an old teacher tells children about Newton's laws. He doesn't mention Musk, but when someone asks, do you believe we'll go to Mars? He smiles, looks at the stars outside the window, and says, I know one person who made it possible, even if no one will ever know his name.